Hello everyone, this is Al Spectra. Welcome back to the Land of Empires. And today I want to bring everyone a fairly comprehensive guide on the new T12 units. Now I want to make this into a two-part video. In the first part, I want to cover all the resources of the new material required to upgrade T12 research as well as unlock T12 troops. And this is known as refined sands of time. I will summarize all the different sources that we currently have to acquire refined sands of time. And I will also cover the cost needed to unlock all the research tiers, the military academy itself, as well as to unlock the troops themselves. And in part 2 of the video, I want to cover the actual power gain as you upgrade through the different research nodes, as well as after unlocking each troop tier. Now I know a big question a lot of players will have on their mind is how important it is to rush these different troop tiers, and is the power that you gain from these troop tiers worth the cost? So let's get started, and in this video I will start by going over all the sources of refined sands, starting off with the cash shop, because of course the easiest way to get refined sands is to buy them directly. And the standard price currently for refined sands is 2 cents per dollar. So this pack, I expect it to come around fairly normally, and players will be able to buy quite a large quantity of refined sands at $2 at 2 cents per dollar. And so this establishes itself as the standard price for refined sands, meaning that every single pack that falls under this 2 cents per dollar ratio, you're kind of getting ripped off. So just for completeness sake, let's go over the other sources of where you can buy these refined sands. The exotic boost, you buy these refined sands at about a 10% extra cost, so you get only 9 refined sands per $5. Even worse is the discount bundle, which I'm sure everyone's familiar by now. These are known as the, I would say, scam packs from the game. And these you would really only want to touch if you are either buying Lord experience. So this is actually the only place you can buy Lord experience from, if I can find it at all, but I cannot actually find it right now, so they might have removed it or put it somewhere else. But here you can only buy 1 refined sand per dollar. So I wouldn't touch this unless you are really desperate for refined sands. Now that we are done covering the shop, I will go over the farmable sources of refined sands. Of course, the discount pack is currently still just for regular sands. You cannot get refined sands from anywhere in the discount bundle, whether it's from the bundle itself or from the sub bundles, which are actually quite good value because you get 16 regular sands per dollar, and that is a much higher value than what we had historically. Now, starting off in the Battle of Disorder, if you are in S or SS tier, you will be able to earn up to 100 refined sands as personal reward. So the top 20 players will be able to earn these sands, and up to 80 sands, I believe, up to 50. I apologize for that. Up to 50 sands if you are the top ranked alliance. So you can convert this automatically. So this is worth $25. Around $25, and the personal reward is worth around $50. And of course, since they are chests, if you are not in a mood to acquire refined sands, you can always exchange them for 4 regular sands of time per chest. Of course, I would never recommend doing that because the ratio is simply not worth it. Now, probably the last place that you can get refined sands, unfortunately, the event, it is a bi-weekly event. If many of you have seen before, the way to acquire the Archer hero is from the Archer purchase event, where you can spend up to 1,500 diamonds to purchase 100 tickets. But of course, the refined sands is not related to kit tickets. What you can do instead is exchange regular sands for refined sands. you can exchange up to 50 refined sands for 4 regular sands per refined sand. So that is the first 50. So after the first 50, you can exchange up to 100 for 6 regular sands per refined sands. And finally, you can exchange up to 200 for 8 regular sands per refined sands. Now this event comes around every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, as long as you have an extra stash of sand somewhere, you can exchange up to 350 refined sands, which is quite a big number. So you can do the math yourself. It's about, I guess, 2,200 regular sands to exchange for 350 regular sands. For 350 refined sands of time. And I think that's a really good deal. So everyone should be doing, everyone who's serious about upgrading T12 without spending too much money should always get the 4 sands per refined sands. So buy out the 50. And then I would also recommend buying out the 100. So now that we have covered the sources of refined sands, we can go over the research itself. And one thing that I should note is that recently the developers appear to have implemented a change where you are forced to max all previous research tiers in order to upgrade the respective troop tier. So once you unlock the first grade, so there are 5 grade, I guess there are 5 sub-tiers across tier 12. But the moment you unlock the first sub-tier, you will unlock T12 troops. And this is a nice thing because you don't need to go all the way to tier 5 before you are able to unlock the troops to be able to train them. You are able to unlock them right away. As you can see, I have tier 2 infantry. Tier 12.2. I'm just going to call it 12.x from now on. So I have tier 12.2 infantry, I have tier 12.1 cavalry, and I have tier 12.1 archer. Now, I did luck out by unlocking these troops before they implemented the change. Now, what I believe player will be forced to do is to max all the previous research before they can unlock the node. Although I have gotten some information that if you have previously unlocked these nodes without maxing your research, you can still move forward and max the forward research nodes to level 10 and then unlock the respective node without having to go back and remax your prior research. Although this part might also be patched very soon. So if you are in a rush, better hurry up. Now, finally, I'm going to go to the actual cost of unlocking each tier as well as for each research upgrade. I'm going to go over the quantity of sands needed as well as the expected dollar cost that you might have to go through to unlock said research. So as I mentioned, there are 10 levels per upgrade node, and after you finish all 10 upgrade nodes for the respective research needed to unlock the troop tier, you can spend an additional fixed quantity to unlock the unit itself. So 12.1, 12.2, 3, 4, and 5. And so players will need to spend a total of 927 refined sands of time to unlock tier 12.1. And I don't really have a recommendation for whether you should balance the unlocks, meaning that whether a player should unlock 12.1 across all 3 unit types before moving on, pushing towards higher tier 12s, or to immediately push towards a higher T12. And I say that because every season the meta kind of shifts. Right now in season 12, infantry and to some extent cavalry is very dominant, and archers are next to useless because they just die too fast and they don't really deal much damage. They are there as pure supports only. So in season 6, it makes sense to maybe start by pushing infantry towards 12.2 or 12.3, and then I will talk a little more about this when I go over the power gain. But I think really, personally, I would unlock all unit types first because personally think it is just very annoying to have to deal with the presets formations. Like for Fast and Furious, you cannot really use presets because you're on like a time limit. You have to just spam your way through and be able to catch, like be able to get all your marches to attack the tower. So personally, I would just get 12.1 across all 3 unit tiers and then think about pushing ahead. And I know a lot of players would be worried about the high cost or the extra cost that are now associated with actually unlocking the tiers. And really, I do agree with that to a big extent. Now the cost is more than double what it costed previously when you only had to unlock 5 research levels per node before upgrading the tier itself. Now it is way more expensive. But as I will cover in the next video, the stats or the power that you gain from the nodes themselves is actually very significant. I would not compare these nodes to tier 11. For tier 11, all you really got were some basic troop stats. Like if we look at tier 11 here, these research levels, all they really gave you were some basic stats like basic bonus percent, 24%, 40% for the respective troop tier. And it really didn't give much, I should say provide much of a power boost. However, for T12 research, the stats you gain from the research itself is very significant. And I will go through that in the next video. But to summarize the total cost, the total expected cost for all 5 tiers is, let's take a look. Oops, I forgot to enter the equal sign. Is 9,348 sands. Refined sands of time, I should say. And that, well, okay, so that didn't look right. So what I did wrong here was I need to multiply all of these by 6 because there are 6 nodes. 6 nodes that come before each troop tier. But I do know the total cost. It is about 24,000 refined sands of time. So this is what you can expect for the total cost. Let me just double check to make sure that is right. So the cost of maxing T12, 14,000. So it's actually closer to 26,000. So 27,000 sands of refined sands of time. And if you want to rush this and buy sands at 2 sands per dollar, it will cost you about $14,000, assuming that you also purchase sands needed for the glorious 6 to 10. If you already have an excessive number of regular sands, then it will cost you around, I don't know, $13,000, $13,500 in that ballpark. Now, some players may ask how long will it take to kind of farm this? And assuming that you can clean up the Archer Hero shop. And I haven't really calculated this before time, but we can calculate this together. So if you clean up the Archer Hero shop, you can get 350 every 2 weeks. So you can get what, 700 every 4 weeks. And I don't know what other sources of sand there will be, but of course, if you buy, I think I forgot to mention that you can also get refined sands of time from Hawkwatch. I'm sure many people know by now. And if you buy the discount bundle, the $5 discount bundle, you get double the sands of time. So let's say you get 4 sands of time per day from Hawkwatch, refined sands of time. And so 4 sands of time times 28. I'm too lazy to calculate that because it is 12 a.m. right now. So you get 112. And Battle Disorder, assuming you do well, you get what, 150 sands of time, refined sands of time. Let's just do 140. I'm not that generous. So every 4 weeks, you can expect to get, or expect to farm 952 refined sands of time. So divide this total number by 952, and you have 28 4 weeks. So multiply this by 4. And I guess we can divide by 52. So this will tell us the number of years needed to passively max T12 research and upgrades. So this is for all troop tiers. Remember, there are 3 unit types, and you don't need, I guess, it's still a lot of time, but you don't really need that much time to just max one out of the 3 unit types. So we can divide this by 3. So it'll take about 3/4 of a year, assuming that they don't give us any additional sources of refined sands of time. Now, as the game progresses, I'm sure that we'll get additional resources. But for now, players, as long as you can max the Archer shop every 2 weeks, let's actually, since we're doing this right now, let's take a look at how much it will cost to max the shop. So we trade 8 sands per 200 plus 6 per 100 plus 4 times 50. So you need to be able to farm about 4,800 sands per month or per 4 weeks in order to max exchange the Archer shop. And I think for players in top alliances or fairly strong players, this is a reasonable number to farm every month. But even if you don't farm that many sands, you can still exchange all from the 4 and from the 6. So it is still quite a good exchange, and you can just throw the rest into either academy upgrades, whatever other upgrades you still need to finish, or the 8 per refined sands, which is to me a bit expensive, but it is always there to be exchanged. So I hope everyone enjoyed the summary of the T12 upgrades as well as the cost associated with the upgrades. In the next video, I will review the power gain that you can expect from upgrading T12 research as well as unlocking T12 troop tiers.